Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare $quarter coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today, we're going to explore one of the most iconic coins in US history, the United States $quarter from 1965. Often overlooked in everyday transactions, this coin holds a fascinating story of economic change, political upheaval, and, of course, its surprising value in today's market. So, stick around as we uncover the history, design, and rarity of this remarkable piece of US currency. You might be amazed at what a simple quarter can be worth. The year 1965 was a time of transformation for the United States. The country was in the middle of the tumultuous 1960s, with major social and political shifts underway. The civil rights movement was at its peak. President Lyndon B. Johnson was pushing for major reforms with his Great Society program, and the United States was heavily involved in the Vietnam War. But, amid all this social change, an important shift was also taking place in the nation's coinage. Before 1965, U.S. quarters were made primarily of 90% silver. However, due to a silver shortage and rising silver prices, the U.S. Mint made a significant decision to change the composition of many of its coins, including the quarter. This change was implemented in 1965 when the U.S. Mint started producing quarters with a copper-nickel-clad composition, containing only a small percentage of silver. While this was a practical decision for the government at the time, it inadvertently gave birth to one of the most interesting and valuable coins in American numismatics today, the 1965 quarter. Though it may seem like a simple and ordinary coin at first glance, the 1965 quarter is a symbol of a pivotal moment in American history, both politically and economically. It's a coin that marks the transition from a silver-based currency to one made of more affordable materials, reflecting the changing priorities of the United States during the mid-20th century. Now, let's take a closer look at the design of the 1965 quarter. On the obverse side, you'll find the classic portrait of George Washington, which had been used on the quarter since 1932. This design, created by sculptor John Flanagan, features a side profile of Washington with the word Liberty inscribed along the top edge and the year 1965 at the bottom. Washington's face is calm and dignified, representing the strength and resilience of the United States, but what truly makes the 1965 quarter stand out is the reverse side. The reverse features the traditional eagle, a symbol of the United States, perched with its wings spread. Above the eagle is the phrase, United States of America, and below, the words, E pluribus unum, which translates to, out of many, one. This phrase is a reminder of the unity of the states, a theme that has resonated throughout American history. Although the design remained relatively unchanged from the years before, the real difference in the 1965 quarter lies in its composition and the fact that it was part of the transition away from silver. This makes it particularly appealing to collectors who are fascinated by this shift in U.S. currency. Collectors of U.S. coins have long been fascinated by the 1965 quarter, especially those in excellent condition. Why, you ask? It's all about rarity and condition. Because most of the 1965 quarters were circulated extensively, finding one in pristine condition is rare. Over the years, many of these coins have been worn down by years of handling and daily transactions. However, a quarter from this year that has been carefully preserved, either through storage or by being pulled out of circulation early, can fetch a pretty penny. But what really drives the value of this coin up is the scarcity of certain variations and minting errors. For example, some 1965 quarters have been found with subtle design flaws or inconsistencies in the composition. These errors make the coins even more desirable to collectors who are looking for unique and one-of-a-kind pieces for their collections. A simple mistake during the minting process can turn an otherwise ordinary coin into a prized possession. The most valuable 1965 quarters are those that were produced at certain U.S. mints. Some coins minted in specific locations or with particular marks are more sought after by collectors, especially if they're in uncirculated condition. Even slight variations in the mint marks can impact a coin's worth dramatically. So, if you come across a 1965 quarter, it's worth checking for any unique features that could make it more valuable than the typical examples. But how much could you potentially make if you found a pristine 1965 quarter? Well, the value of this coin has been steadily rising over the years. Coins in average condition are often worth just a few dollars, but those in near-perfect condition or with rare minting errors can fetch much higher prices. Depending on the condition, some 1965 quarters could be worth anywhere from several $100s to several thousand. But here's the real kicker: in certain rare instances, a 1965 quarter could be worth as much as $64,000. Yes, you heard that right, $64,000 for a single quarter. That kind of value is a testament to the rarity, historical significance, and collector appeal of this coin. If you happen to stumble upon a 1965 quarter in your coin collection or while sifting through change, it's worth taking a closer look. You never know, you might have a valuable treasure in your hands. It's incredible to think that a small, seemingly insignificant piece of currency could hold such a remarkable value. So, if you're ever going through your old coins, make sure to keep an eye out for the 1965 quarter. It could be the jackpot you didn't expect. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone just starting out, the 1965 quarter is a must-have for any coin enthusiast's collection. Top 2, we're diving into one of the most fascinating coins in American numismatics, the United States 1972 quarter dollar. While this coin might seem like just another piece of change, there's so much more to it than meets the eye. It's not only a piece of history but a collectible treasure with a story that spans decades. So, if you've ever wondered about the significance and value of this seemingly ordinary quarter, stay tuned because we're about to explore it in depth. Let's set the stage. The 1972 quarter came into circulation during a year of significant change in the United States. The early 1970s were a period of social upheaval and transformation. The country was in the midst of the Vietnam War, the civil rights movement was continuing to reshape American society, and the economy was grappling with inflation and rising oil prices. It was a time when America was both celebrating its achievements and facing its challenges head-on. Now, let's talk about the coin itself. The design of the 1972 quarter is something that has remained remarkably consistent for many years. The iconic portrait of George Washington, which first appeared on the quarter in 1932, was still prominently featured on the obverse side of the coin in 1972. This image, designed by sculptor John Flanagan, has become one of the most enduring and recognizable symbols of American currency. Washington, the first president of the United States, is portrayed in a dignified profile, with the word "Liberty" inscribed above and the year 1972 below. But as with all coins, it's the reverse side that holds a unique story. The reverse of the 1972 quarter features an eagle perched on an olive branch. This classic symbol of the United States signifies freedom and strength, while the words "United States of America" and "E pluribus unum" surround it. The phrase "E pluribus unum," meaning "out of many, one," is particularly poignant, representing the unity of the diverse states that make up the nation. This emblematic design was a reminder of the nation's ideals and its enduring spirit. Now, while the design of the 1972 quarter may seem familiar, the coin's composition was different from the earlier silver-based coins. By 1972, the United States had fully transitioned to using a copper-nickel-clad composition for its quarters. This shift was the result of the rising cost of silver and the decision to make coins more affordable to produce. The 1972 quarter was made of 75% copper and 25% nickel, making it less valuable in terms of precious metals but still an important part of the country's currency system. What makes the 1972 quarter particularly interesting to collectors, though, is not just its design or composition, but its rarity. While millions of these coins were minted in 1972, certain variants of the quarter are highly sought after by collectors. The 1972 quarter is known for a few key features that make it stand out, such as certain errors and minting anomalies that occurred during production. One of the most intriguing aspects of the 1972 quarter is the variety of mint errors that were discovered. Some quarters from this year feature double die errors, where the design was unintentionally struck multiple times during the minting process. This creates a distinctive, blurry, or doubled effect on certain areas of the coin, such as the date or the inscriptions. These errors are highly collectible because they make the coin unique, and they're incredibly rare to find. Another reason collectors are drawn to the 1972 quarter is due to its connection to a larger trend in American coinage. The 1970s saw a number of changes in the U.S. mint's operations, and this quarter is a part of that historical context. The introduction of copper-nickel coins during this era marked a significant turning point in American currency. For collectors, owning a coin from this pivotal time period adds historical value to their collection. So, what exactly makes the 1972 quarter valuable? The answer lies in its rarity and the condition of the coin. Most of the 1972 quarters that were circulated have been worn down over the years, losing much of their original shine and detail. However, those that have been carefully preserved or remain in mint condition are highly prized. A quarter that has been stored carefully, free from the wear and tear of daily transactions, can command a much higher price than a typical example. The value of a 1972 quarter can vary greatly depending on several factors, including its condition, the presence of any minting errors, and whether it was produced at a particular mint. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition are the most valuable, and those with double die errors are particularly sought after by collectors. As time goes on, the rarity of these coins only increases, as fewer and fewer examples remain in excellent condition. You might be wondering, how much could a 1972 quarter be worth? Well, here's the exciting part. If you happen to have a 1972 quarter that is in excellent condition or features a rare minting error, it could be worth a substantial amount. While typical 1972 quarters might only be worth a few dollars, those in exceptional condition or with unique characteristics have been known to sell for much higher prices. In fact, some collectors have been willing to pay up to $59,000 for a single 1972 quarter. That's right, a single quarter from 1972 could fetch an impressive sum if it's in the right condition or features one of those rare minting errors. This remarkable value makes the 1972 quarter a sought-after item for collectors, and it's a reminder that even the most common coins can become valuable treasures over time. As you can see, the 1972 quarter is much more than just a piece of currency. It's a window into American history, a symbol of the changes the country was going through in the 1970s, and a coin with a fascinating story to tell. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just starting your journey into numismatics, the 1972 quarter is a must-have in any collection. So, if you ever come across a 1972 quarter, take a closer look. It might just be worth more than you ever imagined. You could be holding onto a piece of history that's worth $59,000. Top 3, we are exploring a true gem in the world of U.S. currency, the United States quarter dollar from 1979. This coin, though often overlooked, is a piece of American history that carries with it a wealth of stories, both from its design and from the historical context in which it was created. As we explore this iconic coin, we'll dive into its rich history, its stunning design, and most importantly, why this seemingly common quarter is worth so much more than just its face value. Stay with me until the end, and I promise you'll be amazed by the hidden value of the 1979 quarter. To understand the significance of the 1979 quarter, we first need to take a quick look at the historical backdrop of the time. The late 1970s was a period of great transformation in the United States. The country had emerged from the turmoil of the 1960s and early 1970s, but it was still facing challenges such as rising inflation, the ongoing energy crisis, and shifts in political and social dynamics. The 1970s also marked a time of major economic change, with the US dollar undergoing significant changes, and the US Mint playing a critical role in shaping the nation's currency during this time. Now, let's focus on the coin itself, the 1979 quarter. For years, the US Mint had used the same design for the quarter, featuring George Washington's portrait on the obverse, which was first introduced in 1932. However, in 1979, the coin took on new life through its design and production methods, reflecting a growing desire for innovation while still honoring American traditions. Although the design of the 1979 quarter didn't drastically change, it became a symbolic representation of an era of American growth, innovation, and financial complexity. On the obverse side of the 1979 quarter, you'll find the familiar portrait of George Washington. Sculpted by John Flanagan, Washington's image has become an iconic symbol of American leadership and unity. His face, noble and enduring, looks toward the future of the nation, while the words "Liberty" and the year 1979 are inscribed on either side of the portrait. Washington has been the face of the quarter since 1932, and his image still stands proudly on the coin to this day. The portrait itself serves as a reminder of the country's founding and its ideals of democracy, liberty, and strength. On the reverse side, the design remains relatively unchanged from previous years. The eagle, perched on an olive branch and holding arrows, is the symbol of the United States' strength, courage, and commitment to peace. The words "United States of America" appear above the eagle, while the phrase "E pluribus unum," which translates to "out of many, one," reminds us of the unity that defines the nation. The reverse of the 1979 quarter maintains this classic design, honoring both the national symbol of the eagle and the ideals that America has stood for since its founding. However, despite these timeless elements of the design, it is the production of the 1979 quarter that makes it stand out in the eyes of collectors. In 1979, the U.S. Mint experienced a shift in its minting processes. At that time, the mint was moving towards producing more durable coins, and this is reflected in the quarter's composition. The 1979 quarter was struck using a copper-nickel clad composition, a material that had been introduced earlier in the 1960s. This clad composition, which consists of an inner layer of pure copper and an outer layer of nickel, was more cost-effective than the earlier silver-based quarters and helped the U.S. Mint keep up with rising production costs. Yet, it's not just the composition that makes the 1979 quarter an intriguing collectible, it's the coin scarcity and the error coins that have emerged from this period. Like many coins produced during this time, the 1979 quarter features some unique characteristics that have made certain examples incredibly valuable. Among the most sought-after coins are those with minting errors. Some 1979 quarters were struck with unique mistakes, such as misaligned dies, doubling of the date, and other imperfections that collectors adore. Among these, one of the most famous and valuable versions of the 1979 quarter is the double die variety. This error occurred when the die used to strike the coin was misaligned, causing the details of the coin to appear twice. As a result, the date on some 1979 quarters is visibly doubled, giving the coin a distinctive appearance. These error coins are highly sought after by numismatists because they are rare and unique, making them valuable treasures in the world of coin collecting. Another reason the 1979 quarter has become an object of desire for collectors is due to its historical context. The late 1970s were a time of economic flux, with the United States experiencing high inflation rates, rising interest rates, and the aftermath of the oil crisis. The 1979 quarter, therefore, represents a transitional moment in U.S. currency and in the nation's broader economic trajectory. It was a time when the country was grappling with changing financial realities, and the coin reflects the economic shifts that were occurring in the nation. If you're a collector or simply a fan of rare coins, the 1979 quarter is an excellent piece to add to your collection. What makes this coin especially intriguing is its condition and the presence of minting errors. A well-preserved 1979 quarter can be quite valuable, but if you happen to come across one with a rare error or a mint variation, you might have a true treasure on your hands. As with most coins, the condition is key when determining the value. A 1979 quarter in excellent or uncirculated condition will naturally be worth more than one that has been heavily circulated or damaged over time. So, how much can a 1979 quarter be worth? Well, this is where things get exciting. While most 1979 quarters are worth only a few dollars due to their commonality, those that feature minting errors or remain in pristine condition can command astonishing prices. The value of a 1979 quarter can vary significantly, with some rare versions fetching as much as $53,000. Yes, that's right, $53,000 for a single 1979 quarter, especially if it features one of those elusive double die errors or is in near-perfect condition. This stunning figure is a reminder of just how much a seemingly ordinary coin can appreciate in value over time, depending on its rarity and condition. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just beginning to explore the world of rare coins, the 1979 quarter should definitely be on your radar. It's not just a beautiful piece of currency but a fascinating artifact of American history and a potential goldmine for collectors. If you happen to have a 1979 quarter lying around, take a moment to inspect it closely. You could be holding onto a coin worth far more than its face value. Top 4. We're diving into the fascinating world of American coins, with a special focus on the United States quarter dollar from 1974. While quarters are among the most commonly circulated coins in the U.S., the 1974 quarter has earned a place of distinction in the world of coin collecting. This seemingly ordinary coin is actually a part of a rich historical context, with a design that reflects the times, as well as its own unique story in the world of numismatics. Stay with me until the end because you'll be amazed by the incredible value of this 1974 quarter, and trust me, it's not just pocket change. Let's start by setting the scene for the 1970s. The early part of the decade was a time of great change in America. The country was dealing with the effects of the Vietnam War, the civil rights movements were still making their mark, and the political landscape was shifting dramatically. The 1974 quarter was minted during a period of both challenge and growth, with inflation creeping up and the U.S. economy undergoing some significant transformations. The government had already begun grappling with the transition from a silver-based currency to a copper-nickel one. This shift reflected the rising costs of silver and the growing demand for more affordable, durable coins. In short, the 1974 quarter stands as a product of both economic necessity and a time of social and political transformation. Now, let's talk about the design of the 1974 quarter. The coin still carried the classic George Washington portrait on the obverse, which had been in place since 1932. Washington, the first president of the United States, is depicted in profile, facing left, with the inscription "Liberty" above his head. The year 1974 is inscribed just below Washington's image, marking the time period in which the coin was produced. This design, crafted by John Flanagan, became one of the most enduring and recognizable symbols in American coinage. The dignified image of Washington is a constant reminder of the ideals on which the nation was founded: freedom, democracy, and unity. On the reverse of the 1974 quarter, the eagle continues to serve as a powerful symbol of American strength and resolve. The eagle is perched on an olive branch, holding arrows in its talons, with the words "United States of America" above and "E pluribus unum" below. This design, which has been featured on the quarter since 1932, reminds us of the balance between strength and peace, as well as the unity of the nation, as expressed in the phrase "E pluribus unum," meaning "out of many, one." This reverse design has become a symbol of both the national ideals and the natural beauty of America. Now that we've looked at the coin's design, let's delve into its production and composition. By the 1970s, the U.S. Mint had switched to a copper-nickel clad composition, which was a departure from the silver content used in earlier quarters. This was primarily due to the rising cost of silver, which made it unsustainable for the mint to continue using silver in coinage. The 1974 quarter, like many of its contemporaries, was made of 75% copper and 25% nickel, a combination that was durable and cost-effective for mass production. However, while the composition of the 1974 quarter was practical and economical, the real value of this coin doesn't come from its metal content. Instead, the rarity and condition of the coin are what make it a desirable collector's item. Like any coin, the 1974 quarter was produced in large numbers, but not all of them survived in excellent condition. Many were used in daily transactions, which meant they were subject to wear and tear, losing some of their original sharpness and detail. But here's the exciting part: there are certain 1974 quarters that stand out due to unique minting errors or variations that make them incredibly rare and valuable to collectors. Minting errors are often the result of misalignments, overstrikes, or issues with the dies used to produce the coins. These errors can create varieties of the coin that are completely different from the regular production run, and they can greatly increase the value of the coin. One of the most coveted varieties of the 1974 quarter is the double die error. In this case, the design appears twice or is noticeably doubled on the coin, which happens when the dies used to strike the coin are misaligned during production. This type of error can cause the date, lettering, or other features of the coin to appear blurry, duplicated, or doubled, making it stand out from a typical 1974 quarter. These double die quarters are rare and highly sought after by collectors, who are willing to pay a premium for coins with such distinctive flaws. Another interesting feature of the 1974 quarter is the potential for certain varieties depending on the minting location. The U.S. Mint produces coins in different locations, and sometimes variations between the coins minted in different facilities can make them more or less desirable. The 1974 quarters struck at different mints might have slight differences in detail or strike quality, which can make a particular coin more valuable to collectors who are interested in completing specific sets or collections. So, what is the actual value of a 1974 quarter? Well, most 1974 quarters that are in typical circulated condition are worth only face value, 25 cents. However, as with any coin, the value can increase significantly based on its rarity and condition. If you happen to have a 1974 quarter that is in pristine, uncirculated condition, or one that features a rare minting error, then the value could be much higher than you'd expect. The 1974 quarter has been known to fetch impressive prices, with some of the rare, error-laden coins selling for as much as $56,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, a single 1974 quarter, in the right condition or with a unique error, could be worth an astounding amount. This is a great example of how even a coin that was once considered relatively common can become a valuable piece of history in the eyes of collectors. So, if you've ever wondered whether your pocket change could be worth more than just a quarter, now you know. The 1974 quarter is a perfect example of how coins, when preserved in excellent condition or possessing unique characteristics, can become valuable treasures. And if you happen to find one with a minting error or rare feature, you could be holding onto a coin that's worth $56,000. As always, it's crucial to take a closer look at your coins and understand the value they might hold. If you think you have a rare 1974 quarter in your collection, get it properly evaluated. You could be sitting on a small fortune. Top 5 and last quarter for you. We're embarking on an exciting journey to explore the fascinating world of U.S. coins, specifically focusing on the 1977 quarter dollar. While this coin may seem like just another piece of pocket change, there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. Over the course of this video, we'll dive deep into the historical context of the 1977 quarter, its design elements, the process of its minting, and why it's become a prized possession for collectors. So, stay tuned, as we uncover the fascinating details about the 1977 quarter and reveal the incredible value it can hold today. To fully appreciate the 1977 quarter, we need to step back in time to the period when it was minted. The late 1970s were a time of change and transition for the United States. The Vietnam War had ended a few years earlier, but the country was still dealing with the social, economic, and political repercussions of the war. The United States was also in the midst of an energy crisis, with oil shortages causing gas prices to spike and inflation to rise. Amid these challenges, the U.S. Mint continued its task of producing coins for circulation, including the quarter dollar, which remains one of the most widely circulated coins in the country. In 1977, the U.S. Mint was in the process of moving away from silver in its coinage, as the cost of silver had become too high. The switch to a copper-nickel clad composition had already been made in previous years, and by 1977, this new material had become the standard for coins like the quarter. The copper-nickel clad coins were more affordable to produce, which was important during a time of economic uncertainty. But what made the 1977 quarter stand out wasn't just the composition, it was also the way it reflected the nation's history and ideals through its design. On the obverse side of the 1977 quarter, you'll find the familiar portrait of George Washington. This image, first introduced in 1932, was created by sculptor John Flanagan and has been the face of the quarter ever since. Washington, the first president of the United States, is depicted in profile, with his dignified face looking out over the nation he helped create. The word "Liberty" is inscribed above his head, while the year 1977 is placed just beneath the portrait. This iconic design not only honors Washington but also serves as a reminder of the values of leadership, freedom, and democracy that he embodied. On the reverse side of the 1977 quarter, the design remains relatively unchanged from earlier versions. The eagle, which has been a symbol of American strength and freedom since the founding of the country, is depicted in full flight, holding an olive branch and arrows in its talons. The words "United States of America" are displayed above the eagle, with the phrase "E pluribus unum," meaning "out of many, one," inscribed below. This imagery of the eagle and the phrase encapsulates the ideals of unity, peace, and strength that have come to define the United States. But while the design of the 1977 quarter remained consistent with previous years, it is the minting process and the rarity of certain coins that give this particular quarter its value. By the late 1970s, the U.S. Mint was producing quarters in large quantities to meet the needs of the nation's growing population and economy. The introduction of copper-nickel-clad coins meant that the production process could be more efficient, but it also meant that there was a greater volume of coins in circulation. As a result, most 1977 quarters have been heavily used in everyday transactions and are in circulated condition. But it's the well-preserved coins, those that have been carefully kept in excellent condition, that are of particular interest to collectors. The rarity of a 1977 quarter in uncirculated or near-perfect condition is one of the key factors that drives its value. Coins that have been kept in pristine condition, free from the usual wear and tear of daily circulation, are highly sought after by collectors. Whether it's because of the coin's design or its association with a particular period in American history, there's something about a well-preserved 1977 quarter that makes it more valuable than the typical coin found in your change jar. When these coins are graded highly by professional numismatists, their value increases significantly, sometimes by hundreds or even thousands of dollars. In addition to condition, there are also certain minting errors and varieties that can make a 1977 quarter even more valuable. Minting errors occur when something goes wrong during the production process, resulting in a coin that is different from the standard issue. These errors can range from something as subtle as a misaligned die to more noticeable features like doubled or tripled images. Collectors go wild for error coins because they are rare, unique, and often stand out from the standard production run. If you happen to have a 1977 quarter with an unusual minting error, you could have a coin that is worth much more than its face value. The 1977 quarter also holds appeal for collectors due to its historical context. The late 1970s was a time of both challenge and change for the United States. The energy crisis, rising inflation, and political unrest were just some of the issues that defined the decade. For numismatists, the 1977 quarter is a tangible link to a specific time in American history. Collecting coins like the 1977 quarter allows enthusiasts to preserve a piece of the nation's past while also appreciating the artistry and craftsmanship of the mint. So, what can you expect in terms of value for a 1977 quarter? While most 1977 quarters are worth only their face value, 25 cents, there are exceptions. If you happen to come across a 1977 quarter that is in near-perfect condition, it could be worth far more than its face value. And if the coin features a rare minting error or a unique variation, the price can increase even further. In fact, depending on its condition and rarity, a 1977 quarter has been known to sell for as much as $54,000. Yes, that's right. $54,000 for a single 1977 quarter, and it's not just a fluke. Coins in exceptional condition, or with rare minting errors, have been sold for impressive sums at auction. If you're a collector, or if you simply have a stash of old coins that you've been meaning to go through, now is the time to take a closer look at your 1977 quarters. Even a single coin, if found in excellent condition or with a rare minting error, could be a valuable addition to your collection. So, always keep an eye out for the potential hidden treasures that might be waiting for you in your change jar or coin collection. I hope today's deep dive into the 1977 quarter has been as exciting for you as it has been for me. It's amazing to think about how much value can be hidden in something as simple as a quarter, especially when it's tied to history and minting processes that make it unique. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare and valuable coins, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Thanks for joining me, and happy collecting. You might just have a $54,000 quarter waiting to be discovered.